Bitcoin right now is flashing a huge buy signal. Every time we have seen that buy signal in the past, it has been indicating a rally in the long term, but as well a rally in the short term. In today's video, I'm going to explain you exactly how significant I think this buy signal actually is right now, and what kind of impact this buy signal could have on the price of Bitcoin. Then we are going to have a look at the Bitcoin price in the shorter term time frame. And we are also going to have a look at some other charts which are showing some warning signals I want you to be aware of. So guys, drop a like, leave your comment down below. With that being said, my name is Jeroen. Welcome to the Blockchain Today, the channel where you subscribe for daily crypto videos. And right now, let's jump into the charts. Hello everybody, welcome back at the Blockchain Today. Nice to have you here, right here on the channel. And before we are jumping into the content, could we all take 1 minute, scroll below this video and hit the thumbs up button. In that way, we can make sure that this video is being pushed to as much people as possible. So guys, with that being said, in today's video, I want to start off with a huge buy signal that is forming right now in the hash ribbon. I want to have a quick chat about why this buy signal is actually forming and how significant this buy signal actually is. So guys, first of all, the hash ribbons are actually two moving averages based on the hash rate of Bitcoin. And we have a longer term time frame moving average and we have a shorter term time frame moving average. And when that shorter term time frame moving average is going below the longer term time frame moving average of the hash rate, then we are seeing a inversion. And normally that is a bearish signal because that is showing us that miners are capitulating, that miners are leaving the Bitcoin network. And guys, when the short-term hash rate moving average is going above the long-term moving average, then that is a bullish sign for Bitcoin, showing us that more miners are entering and participating in securing the Bitcoin network. And guys, there's a famous saying that the price of Bitcoin is always following the hash rate. So when the hash rate is in an uptrend, Bitcoin price eventually follows, because it is also a fundamental indicator about the adoption of Bitcoin. And recently we have seen an inversion, and after we are seeing an inversion of the hash ribbon, when the hash ribbon is going back to normal levels, we are getting a buy signal. And historically, every time when we are seeing such a buy signal, we are seeing a huge rally in the Bitcoin price. It has been a great time to buy Bitcoin every time we have seen such a buy signal. So let's have a look at that, and I want to start off with placing a vertical line whenever we have seen a buy signal, and we can see what did happen with the price afterwards. So here was the previous time we got a buy signal. The time before that we had a buy signal right there. The time before that we had a buy signal right there. And guys, here we can already see it, right? The previous time we had a buy signal that was right here, right before we had quite a nice increase in the Bitcoin price. The time before that we also got a buy signal right before a rally right here. And the time before that we also got a buy signal right before this rally. So yeah, if we have a look at the previous 3 times, then it has been indicating a good buy opportunity for the long term, but as well a good buy opportunity in the short term. Then guys, when we scroll back, we can see we got a buy signal right here, which was actually a great buy signal, right? If you would have bought Bitcoin right here, then right now you would be heavily in profits. So guys, when we have a look at the buy signals we are seeing in 2015 and 2016, then we can see that these buy signals were not only good buy signals in the macro perspective, but as well in the shorter term time frame. Like if we zoom in right here, then we can see that here, when we got the buy signal, we also had a local bottom, and afterwards Bitcoin started to rally. Right here we having the same thing. We also got a buy signal right before a nice rally. I do have to say that right here you can see that eventually it got followed up by a correction, which went lower than the actual entry point of the buy signal. So take that in mind, guys. And right here we can see something similar. Also right after the buy signal, the Bitcoin price starts to rally. So guys, right now we are getting a buy signal on the hash ribbon as well. So does that mean that this is a bullish sign in the shorter term time frame? I want to have a talk about that, because this buy signal we are seeing right now might be slightly less significant than the buy signals we have seen previous times, and I'm going to explain you exactly why. So normally when we are seeing a inversion of the hash ribbon, then that is causing selling pressure on the price of Bitcoin due to the fact that miners are leaving, miners are capitulating. And if we have a look at the previous times when we are seeing a inversion of the hash ribbons, then that almost always goes along with selling pressure in the price of Bitcoin. So right here we had an inversion of the hash ribbon. If we have a look at the price, we are seeing some slight selling pressure. We are not seeing a uptrend. Here we can see an inversion in the hash ribbon as well. And this was actually quite after the bounce. So this inversion could have a delay, right? Because this dump might came unexpected, which could be the reason that we saw the inversion of the hash ribbons after this dump, so that miners capitulated after Bitcoin has dumped. Then the time before that, when we have seen an inversion, and we also saw selling pressure on the price of Bitcoin. Then guys, this inversion of the hash ribbon is quite a famous one in 2018, because this was the one predicting the major drop in the Bitcoin price. So we saw an inversion of the hash ribbon right here already before we have seen the drop in the actual price. So right here the hash ribbon was already signaling us that we might experiencing, or that we are going to experience, some selling pressure on the price of Bitcoin. And afterwards we have seen this huge drop to the downside, which got followed by the hash ribbons going back to normal levels, and eventually we got a buy signal at a very great moment in history. So guys, it does make sense, right? The hash rate is going down, miners are quitting, securing the Bitcoin network, they need to sell their Bitcoin holdings, which is causing selling pressure on the price of Bitcoin. And this is something we need to understand in order to understand how the hash ribbons are working and how the hash ribbons actually could have an effect on the Bitcoin price. And guys, that's as well the reason why this time it could be slightly different, because right here we have seen an inversion of the hash ribbon, but when we have a look at the Bitcoin price, the Bitcoin price just continued going up, and we have a clear explanation why we were seeing an inversion of this hash ribbon, and that is due to a seasonal event. And the seasonal event was that miners in China, due to the rain season, are moving their mining operations, and that is the reason why we are seeing a decrease in the hash ribbon. And right now a logical explanation would be that they have moved their mining operations, and right now the hash rate is increasing again. So guys, in general I would say that a buy signal on the hash ribbon is a bullish signal due to the fact that the hash rate is increasing, more miners are participating, securing the Bitcoin network, which means that the fundamentals behind Bitcoin are stronger when the hash rate is increasing. So that is actually always bullish for the price if you ask me, definitely in the longer term time frame. However, right now if we have a look at the Bitcoin price, we have seen already a rally from the bottom of the middle March lows till the high right now, approximately a rally of 400%. And it is not very often that we are seeing a rally in Bitcoin of 400% without a severe correction. And I don't believe in the phrase that this time it could be different. I don't think that, honestly. I think still sooner or later we will get a huge correction from this rally we have seen so far. So in that way, I do think the buy signal on the hash ribbon is a bullish signal, but I would definitely not rely on this signal for shorter term time frame price action. Then guys, let's have a look at Bitcoin in the shorter term time frame, and let's right now have a look at the 1 hour time frame. And like I've said in yesterday's video as well, we have broken above this declining channel, and right now I expect Bitcoin to consolidate right here with this uptrending support and this horizontal resistance. Either way, Bitcoin has to make a decision very soon whether it's going to break out to the downside or whether we are going to break out to the upside. The likelihood that we are breaking out to the upside is definitely higher than that we are breaking out to the downside. Bitcoin is still in a uptrend, and if we bring out the 20-hour moving average, like I've mentioned in yesterday's video as well, then we can see that Bitcoin right now is still holding this level. The moment we broke above this level, it has been bouncing off from this level and is still holding support. So this is a moving average I'm watching in the shorter term time frame. If we break below it decisively, as we have seen right here, and this level is acting as resistance, then we can find ourselves in a short-term downtrend. Then below we have the support right here at 19,200, and if we were to break decisively below this level, then I think the next major support is at 18,200. And guys, the 18,200 level right here is also aligning approximately with the 50 moving average on the 4-hour time frame, which has been a great indicator in the past rallies, show us whether Bitcoin is in an uptrend or in a downtrend. So I think this is going to be an important level. If Bitcoin were to break below this level, then I definitely expect a continuational drop to the downside. Then guys, I want to have a look at the following indicator, and this is a huge warning signal for the financial markets, but could be a huge warning signal for the crypto markets in the short term as well. And right here, this indicator is showing us that right now there is extreme optimism in the financial markets. And most of the time when we are seeing extreme optimism, then that is a bearish signal showing us that we are getting closer to a top. So let's have a look at some previous times when this indicator recorded a high amount of optimism. So right here, we've topped out at 57%, and that was right before the huge dump we have seen in March. Then the time before that, when we peaked out at 52%, then we can see that afterwards we went into a downtrend right here as well. The time before that, when we peaked out at 52%, we were also peaking out right here in the markets, which got followed by bearish momentum, bearish price action. Then these two times when we peaked out at 52%, we haven't seen a huge effect on the markets, but the previous times right here when we peaked out at 48%, it always had a bearish effect eventually on the market. So right here, we peaked out at 48% right before this massive drop in 2008. Then right here, we peaked out at 48%, also right before a massive drop. And right here, we can see it as well. We peaked out at 48% and eventually we are entering into a downtrend right in the financial markets. So guys, right now this is definitely an extreme recording, which I see as a huge warning signal, because this could tell us that in the shorter term time frame or in the mid-term perspective, right, this also is not predicting a top exactly right now. We still could see some days and weeks an uptrend. We could see a blow of top event occurring, but it shows us that in the macro perspective, most likely we are getting very close to a top in the financial markets. So yeah guys, I do think that if we are going to see a sell-off in the regular financial markets, then that will cause selling pressure on the price of Bitcoin as well in the shorter term time frame. So guys, this is something you have to take in mind, and you have to be aware of that this is going on in the background. And guys, eventually it also could make quite some sense if we have a look at the Dixie chart, because yeah, right now we are forming, sooner or later it looks like a bullish divergence. The price is going further down than the RSI, which means that most likely we are going to see a bounce sooner or later, and we could see a bounce from the levels we are right now, because we are testing an important support level I've mentioned in my previous videos as well. Right now we are touching this level. We could also drop further down and come towards the level of 88 and might see a bounce from that level. However guys, if we are seeing a bounce from the Dixie, then I think that can have a bearish impact on the S&P 500, but as well on Bitcoin. So this chart has been predicting to us that we are going to see the all-time high in the price of Bitcoin. This chart may as well be the predictor when we are going to see the top in the price of Bitcoin. And a huge advantage of this chart is that not a lot of people are watching this chart and are seeing that inverse correlation. However guys, you should never use only this chart for your indication whether we are going to see a top or a bottom. It should be one of the indicators which will go into the baskets of other indicators. So guys, I want to have a quick talk about Ethereum in the Bitcoin comparative. Yesterday we have been talking about this triangle formation, and that most likely we are going to see a breakout of this triangle formation very soon. We did start a breakout. We broke out to the upside. We saw a slight increase in the amount of volume, which is okay. However guys, I do want to say that right now we've already lost the support right here again, the horizontal support. And guys, I really want to emphasize that this chart is really dependent on what Bitcoin is doing. So when we are seeing a drop in the price of Bitcoin, then most likely this chart will drop as well. Ethereum will lose valuation against Bitcoin. If Bitcoin can hold these levels, then that most of the time is a bullish signal for Ethereum. More traders will be speculating if Bitcoin can hold these levels, because there will be more trust, and when there's more trust, people are more likely to speculate into other altcoins, and the first coin people are going to speculate in is of course Ethereum. So guys, take that in mind. If Bitcoin can hold these levels or see a slight increase, then that is a bullish sign for Ethereum. and that could mean that we could continue this uptrend. And if we are seeing the opposite, if we are seeing a huge drop in the price of Bitcoin, which is causing a lot of uncertainty, which makes that the Bitcoin dominance is increasing, people, they are not willing to speculate in times when there is uncertainty, right? So when the price of Bitcoin is dropping and we are seeing uncertainty among investors, then that definitely has a bearish effect on this chart too. So guys, a quick summary on Bitcoin right now. We are seeing that Bitcoin is still in an uptrend on multiple time frames. However, this is as well a moment you want to be very cautious, because we are seeing some warning signals in other charts. We are seeing extreme optimism in the financial markets. We are seeing the US dollar index approaching support, combined with a bullish divergence, which could indicate as well selling pressure on the S&P 500 and on Bitcoin. So guys, do take in mind that although Bitcoin is still in a nice uptrend, we are going to see sooner or later a correction, and we are already seeing some warning signals in other charts, not yet in Bitcoin. However, you know how quickly the markets can shift, especially in the crypto space, right? So guys, do take that in mind, that things move fast in these markets and that sooner or later we are going to see a correction, and that shift can happen really fast. So be warned. But okay guys, that was it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you all enjoyed it, please consider leaving a thumbs up, because you are making me super happy and we can push this video to as much people as possible. Then for all the traders out there who haven't seen one of my tutorials, you can go over there and watch one of those, and I will see you all in the next video.